no switch. Just a
What's up, guys? My name is Ricardo de la Cruz. For those of you who don't know me, I go by Ricky Dicky Z on the Instagram. As you can see, because I do now own a Nissan 370Z, and I've been wanting to introduce the car to the channel in the past couple of weeks, but I just haven't had that opportunity or that time to shoot any type of video, of actually sit down and make a video like this. But I do have a lot of things that I need to share since getting the car. I've had a friend of me whose car is over there, the FRS Hector de Luna. I want to give a big shout out to him because he was able to help me with a lot of things in order to make this possible. A couple things have happened. I feel like whenever I was looking for a car, it was almost nearly impossible for me to find one with everything that I just happened to hit so many rocks on the way purchasing this car. Not specifically this one, although this one also did give me a lot of a hassle, but like in general, every time I was on my way to go look at a 370, either it would sell on me like that day or the day before, and it was just terrible. I would set up dates to go look at cars, and cash ready, on the way there to go buy them, and it was absolutely horrendous. For a while, I almost kind of even wanted to give up because it was a big mess. And originally, I was not even looking for a 370. I was looking for a 350. And my friend's gonna be mad at me all he wants because he really wanted to see me in a 350. But we waited a little longer, and I guess also not being able to find a good 350 at a good price was also a big factor in why I ended up getting this. Now, if you've seen my post, or if you follow me on Instagram or on Snapchat, then of course you've already seen the car. It's been approximately a little over a month now, about a month and a half now since I've had the vehicle. I purchased the car on April 13th is the day that, April 12th is the day that I made the deal with the person that I was going to buy the car off of. And I got it at a really, really sick price. But I also bought it broken. I bought the car in a not running condition. It wasn't able to, the engine was good and everything, but the CSC on this car was busted. And if you know and you follow 370s, you know that that's an extremely common issue on these vehicles. So when I bought it, I wasn't able to drive it. And originally I was told I could, but the day I actually went to go see it, the car, she had informed me that it was undrivable at this moment, and somebody had already went to go look at it, and they were unable to test drive it, and because she found out that finally the CSC had completely gone out, and I was under the assumption that I could at least still drive it home, and from there I would take it to a shop. Keep in mind, the car was about 30, 35, 40 minutes from where I live here in Sherman, and so I was already kind of making that risk of having to drive the car all the way back that far with that problem. But she had told me it was drivable, it would still make it, and that gave me confidence to go ahead and go look at it. But whenever I went to go look at it, she told me that now the car completely wasn't going into gear, so the car really was undrivable. It would turn on, it would turn over and everything, but I could not put it into gear to save my life. Basically, I had to get a tow at this point. I called up some guys actually that my parents recommended me to. It was a mechanic shop here in Sherman, and I called them up and was like, "Hey, I got this car that I'm looking to purchase, and I need a tow though. I can't get it. I can't move it, and it's about 30-35 minutes." And the guy was super chill. He was like, "Yeah, no problem. We got you." He gave me a quote, and I was like, "All right, let's go ahead and go through with this." I ended up going with my friend to go look at the car, and then that same day, the very first day we went to go look at it, and here's a snap that, I'm not lying, you'll see a snap here the day that I went to go look at it, is the day that we actually sealed the deal. I told her a price, we agreed, and that was the day that, we said, all right, I'm buying this car off of you for this amount of money. And literally when I left that day, I was already calling up different people to help me, and my dad's the one that gave me the number of the mechanic, and I called him up that same evening, and he was like, "Yeah, let's go ahead and get it done. Let's go ahead and get it moved." So originally I bought the car with the lien on it, so I still had to go through, and I'm currently also paying it off through my own bank now. I financed the car through my bank, and that was a whole nother disaster in itself, honestly. I say that, but at the end of the day, everything came out right, and it was just, you know, concerns on both my end and her end on, you know, how we're gonna do this and stuff. And of course, I had a limit to when I could register the car and get the title switched and everything. It's usually about a month. And remember, the car isn't running, and the car hadn't been inspected for approximately 3 years now. So I still had to go get it inspected. I had to get it fixed. I had to get it inspected and registered, and the car wasn't running, so I couldn't get it inspected and I couldn't get it registered because of that. So whenever I originally got the car, I got the mechanic to go ahead and he towed it for me. We finally agreed a couple days after I had gone to see the car, a week after actually. We towed it to the shop. I ordered the parts. I went ahead and got a stage 1 clutch for it, which I made a vlog about it, but I didn't post it. I had the footage and I was looking through it, and I just didn't want to give that type of content just because it wasn't very well made. I don't know why. I guess I was just so caught up in trying to get everything situated and get everything finalized with the car, getting it over to my name and banks and everything. I wasn't too focused on filming any of it. So after about a week of it being in the shop, of course I had to wait for the parts to come in. I had a CSC C-Mac V2 kit that I had gotten from Z-Speed, and this was also, you know, this was partially my fault because I kind of bought the part, of course, with the clutch and the CSC C-Mac to replace the CSC. That way I wouldn't have to face this again. But what I failed to do was speak to my mechanic and be like, hey, and with him be like, hey, are you going to be able to install this? Are you going to be able to do this modification? Because I for sure can't. I don't have the time and I don't have the experience to put my hand into the transmission in order to fix that. So I didn't want to go that route. So I wanted to make sure he was doing it. But I didn't go to him about the C-Mac, and so I kind of just showed up to the shop a week after it was already there and be like, hey, I want this clutch and I want this instead of the original OEM CSC. And he looked at me all confused. He was like, what? Like, I thought we were doing a replacement. You didn't tell me we were modifying this piece in order for it to stay like that. So now I'm like in this awkward position of like, he doesn't really want to do that. He's not comfortable doing it, but he went ahead and tried, and I have a couple footage of it too. I'll show you guys that too. I had footage of him, like, he had it on. Once the tranny was out, he had the CSC C-Mac on. But we were still unable to get anywhere with it. He wasn't able to install it properly. So I ended up having to pull it out. Of course, the tranny was already out, so we didn't put the tranny back in. And that was actually part of the process, but he didn't want to. He told me if he closed the back oven and it didn't end up correctly, that I was going to have to pay again. And after buying the car, I didn't have that much money to work with. So I told him, no, go ahead and pull the CSC C-Mac out. And I ended up ordering the OEM CSC, which ended up taking another like 2 days to get here. And so the car's been in the shop for a while now, about a week and a half. And you know, it's still, we're not seeing the end of the tunnel here. But we got the CSC luckily, and he was able to get that installed quickly, and he got it installed to me. And I got the car on a Friday night. I remember picking up the car. My friend, we took off from work and went straight to the shop. And I picked up the car, and luckily everything was great. The car was finally running. I was finally able to drive it to the house. And I was able to, but the thing was, it didn't stop there because the car still wasn't registered. There was no plates, there was no inspection tag. So I had to go ahead and also do all of that. And then we had a whole complication with the banks, and the bank didn't send the title over till literally after the car was fixed. I still had to wait another week for the title to come in from the other bank because I don't know what happened. Their processing time was taking forever, and so at this point I was a little over 2.5 weeks of not being able to actually drive the car anywhere. Even though it was drivable now, I couldn't really drive it without, you know, if I get pulled over, that's a ticket. So I didn't want to run the risk of that. So finally, my bank was able to get the title from her bank, and we were able to get all that situated. I was able to go, and oh my gosh, when I tell you we hit every rock getting this car, we hit every single rock. We finally had the title. We got the inspection. We went to go get the car inspected. It passed inspection, and we were at the courthouse. And then to my surprise, I messed up on the title registration. Replaced whenever you exchange the title. I messed up on the date where I had put the date incorrectly, and it didn't match with the title, and it didn't match with the bill of sale. So the lady there at the court was like, "Hey, you need to go get this fixed. You need a paper saying that, you know, you messed up on this sheet, and you need to take it to her. That way she can sign off on the mistake." And keep in mind, she lives 40 minutes from me, and not only that, this is around finals time for her, so she's like stressed out of her mind, you know, doing her own thing with school and all. And now I have to bug her again with like, hey, after bugging her about the entire bank situation, now I have to bug her again about my mistake on the title. And so I had to go all the way to UTA, which is about an hour and a half from here, to go get that other page signed. And finally I was able to bring it back to Sherman. And that same day, I remember calling off of work because I was so frustrated with like not being able to register it, and like I still wasn't able to drive the car. So I went ahead and called off work. I went to UTA, got the paper signed, came back. Finally, towards around 3:30, 4 p.m., like 30 minutes before the courthouse closed, I made it back, and I said, "Hey, all right, I got everything now. Let's get this thing registered." Finally, we were able to get everything situated, and after all the hassle with the car being broken, thinking I could drive it, and then I wasn't able to drive it, having to get it towed, having to pay to get it fixed, and then buying the C-Mac that didn't work, and the clutch, and I ended up having to buy the new CSC. After the bank issues, and then finally the registration issues, I was finally able to get the car switched over to my name. And now here we are sitting with the car. I've done a couple things to it. Nothing crazy, nothing performance-wise. I haven't been able to put too much money into it because this is going to come to a shock. But if you've seen the post of the car before, you automatically can tell that that's not the front bumper that came on the car when I bought it.
Still I'm going no switch. Shots of rum in the bitch. I take the time, get me rich. Got the thoughts so intact. Dog from ground to decay. Made a bill from a stack and shit. Got a bill for the bag. Hit that bitch from the...
So when this actually happened really recent. I'm talking 2 weeks ago. I was with my friend, the same friend Hector that I'm always with, and we were heading back from a party here, and it was kind of late at night, and it was terrible. We were passing by, going about 40-45 miles an hour, not speeding. That was the speed limit, and about midnight, and out of nowhere, I'm gonna feel so bad because I know a lot of people are like, what the heck? Like, it's terrible. And I really hope no girls are watching this because they're gonna cry once they find out. But when we were on our way back, out of nowhere, a dog ran in front of us, and well, it was too late for me. I tried braking and I tried swerving, but it was too late. Everything happened so fast, and I ended up hitting him on the right-hand side of the car. And I have footage here of what the car ended up looking like. The dog unfortunately did not make it, and I feel pretty crappy about that because everything just happened so quickly, and I feel bad because of that. But I'm glad I'm okay. I'm glad my friend is okay. That was, of course, the main priority. None of us, it wasn't that bad of an accident, but of course we hit a dog. And this was a big dog, it wasn't anything small. Clearly, according to the damage, you can tell, this wasn't a light hit. But other than the car, everything was fine. We were okay. None of the internals of the car got damaged, but the bumper did get severely messed up. So all my plans of test pipes and headers and all that kind of went out the window. I had to buy a new front bumper, and I had to get it painted and buying the paint, which was not cheap. I thought I was going to pay like max $120, and I ended up paying a little over $230 just for the paint. I got the bumper from Z1 Motorsports. So if you guys want to do a conversion, that's awesome. I totally shout them out. Everything came included in the kit. I only did the front bumper. I didn't do the rear bumper. And actually, the front, the little front lip is red, but I'm gonna paint it white later on, just because the car is not a Nismo, so I don't really want to like portray it as a Nismo. And I don't know, that may sound stupid, but that's just I don't want it to. I don't want it seen for me that like I'm copying a Nismo when the car is not a Nismo. A little bit more about the car. I haven't spoke too much about, it's a 2009 Nissan 370Z. It is the sport package, so it has the bigger brakes. It's got the rev match as well. So definitely can say I'm in love with the car. Of course, we've had big ups and downs with the car ever since looking at the car, having to go deal with everything that we did, but finally, I'm glad to be able to say that we finally have the car here. I'm at a state now that I'm after everything, after these past 2 months, I'm happy. I'm glad I was able to get one of my dream cars. Anybody that knows me knows that I've always been a really big Z fan, and like I said, I was going to buy a 350 originally, but I ended up, I'm glad I was able to pick this up and make this upgrade from the 350. But this is it. My name is Ricardo. This is my 370Z. This was kind of my story, a little bit of a brief history on how I got the car, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who supported me. That's it, basically. I don't know what else to say. I just make sure to keep watching the channel for more content. We're going to be trying to be hammering a lot more content. I got a couple things in mind for the car, and hopefully we can get everything on the road. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to follow me on the gram at RickyDickyZ, and thank you guys. Also, go ahead and go. If you haven't seen, I have already kind of showed this car on the channel. If you didn't watch the jailbreak theatrical video I did with my friend, if you want to check out his 86, make sure to check that out. There will be a link in the description. And then at the end of the video, you see the car with the original front bumper that it came with. You can see the car there, and that's the first time you see that car on this channel, which was about a month before this video came out. So if anybody watched that, that's awesome. I'm glad you watched the whole thing. If not, go ahead and go like and drop a comment of your favorite part, and drop a comment on this video. Let me know what you guys want to see, and hopefully with more time we can get these things coming out to you guys, and we're going to be doing a lot of stuff with this car. So please stay tuned to this channel, hit that subscribe button, and I hope you guys love what we do.